Welcome to Vodhalla.
Ada could be so destructive. Her signatures are very fast. Spear is very popular as of this current meta, and guns have been showing up more in ones than anything else that we've seen today.
And she's got one of the best defensive stances of all.
Well, let's see what LDZ's got. I'm excited to see if LDZ still has it, because Stevenator has been playing really, really well during this entire year, and LDZ has an opportunity to upset that and get on the winner's side, because right now, as far as seeding goes and performance, LDZ is the underdog.
I mean, this is probably the biggest game that we've seen so far just now. LDZ, you know, the two-time world champion, Stevenator, who's made so much strides in his progress this year that he actually won his first major tournament, which was a huge, huge improvement on what he used to do, which was always second place in a lot of tournaments. But already Stevenator taking map control, and grounded map control with Spear can be super difficult to get through. It's a wall of defense if played right, and Stevenator looks like he's got everything in tow. Finally, though, LDZ picking up those blasters, able to get a little bit of damage off and start his retaliation.
Yeah, Stevenator did a great job of being able to control earlier on with that Spear. LDZ finds himself off stage. Unfortunately, does he have the recovery? Doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh.
Ground pound stuffs it, and LDZ really losing out on neutral here earlier on. Steve, he had trouble finding a weapon early, and when he finally got a weapon, he went some risky down airs off stage that Stevenator was absolutely ready for, immediately able to punish, and now pick up the sword, finds the sidelight nair, recovery, goes for the gravity cancel side stick to continue that combo. LDZ trying to find something with the spear, an excellent change dodge forward, tries to get the recovery towards Steve, side air, puts him into the red. LDZ can even things up pretty quickly here if he gets one of those Sairs, maybe a neutral sig or a down sig coming out from Ada. Those signatures are quite quick and a little difficult to react to, but it also kind of has to go for the jump breeze, but no, he's actually just Sairing Steve to death.
And sometimes that's all you need, and there's the down air. Steve's still not dead yet, but there it is with the down air. And LDZ is going to be finding that KO, evening up the stocks. But so far, a very close match between these two players, and it has been very solid back and forth between both of them.
But that down air read will definitely rack up a lot of damage. One gun down air is okay to get hit by if it doesn't lead to a string, but once you start getting hit by 3 or 4, then you'll find yourself quickly entering the orange, the red, and then towards kill percent. LDZ has yet to use a signature here, and that's like the 4th down air that we've seen him hit in a row. He's definitely just trying to catch Steve from underneath, recognizing that Steve has this really heavy ground game. Gravity cancel down lane into Sair. LDZ really turning things around here. Falling Sair puts Steve into kill percent. We get another Sair KO. The recovery does it in a turnaround. LDZ losing the first stock, switches over, recognizes what Steve's doing and doesn't allow him to get anything else. And once again, LDZ's looking great on these blasters, and Ada's force being so high, if you don't get hit, you are going to find yourself into kill percent so quickly if you keep getting hit by these gun down airs.
And this is, I think, what a little bit of what we were expecting to see from LDZ is just a dominating performance in the 1v1 arena. So oppressive with some of his approaches, his reads. They all come together so nicely when he is playing on point. And what a fantastic recovery back to the stage. Getting that side air, able to get the chase dodge upwards towards the wall. And look at this, so much damage. He's barely taken anything in this second stock. Steve has been able to find a little bit here, but the spacing from LDZ is almost perfect.
I don't like, good ground pound there, being able to read that dodge towards the stage. But Steve was utilizing his dodge for a lot of gravity cancel signatures that were just leading to him getting a face full of damage. I want to see that a lot less. There's those quick 6 that we're talking about, and the weapon toss on the way down. Steve dive kicking to get some distance without using a jump or a dodge, and finding a spear in the face for game 1 to go over to LDZ, and it's looking quite nice for LDZ here in game number 1 of this best of 3. It's looking like he hasn't lost it just yet.
He's looking very calm too, very collected, not letting his ego get to him, just relaxing, thinking about his play, what he needs to do. He's got his movements in check, he's got his options in check.
How ridiculous would it be if LDZ gets to the finals for another world championship? Especially after not playing all year. Is this man just that talented?
There's a lot of people who are already expecting that to be the case. And, I mean,
he looked good in 2s.
It's hard to say that it's expected for him to get there, you know, because you don't see him throughout the year. He shows up in some of the regional,
but he's just got that magic to the name, right? Where's LDZ all year, and now he's here, and chat's going probably crazy for him. Stevenator opening up with a nice neutral air, though, and let's see if Steve can pull out what he did in the first stock of the previous game, where he was able to deny LDZ a lot of damage, get him off stage. A nice, really early ground pound kill. I think ground pounds were the only ways that he took stocks off last time, but LDZ using that platform as it was rising to continue the gun string here, and LDZ's movement is impeccable. Look at this going. Jumping Sairs. Okay, trying to find that chase out sidelight. Sair gets Stevenator on the side of the stage. He tosses that weapon aside, picks it back up for a neutral. Excellent string from Steve. Dodges in place. The rear LDZ's going with the down air, catches Steve. Steve has the recovery, but that's it. Steve's not going to make it back.
He was too far off stage.
Well, he used the dodge and the recovery
options.
And no jumps.
And if LDZ is going to be there, he's going to take that opportunity, find that KO, and you can guarantee that that will be the case. Stevenator now needing to find a way back into this, looking for a little bit of success here with the sword now, finding the neutral sig. No, not quite. LDZ making his way back. Right up the push-off column, and LDZ recovering, turning himself into a helicopter, trying to find a hit off that, and that is not going to be quite as successful as well. But Stevenator now finding a little bit more success here. The recovery off the top, not going to find the KO, though. So both players
spot dodge there, but Steve canceled the very end of his dodge into a gravity cancel downlight recovery. Excellent option choice. Too bad it did not KO just yet. That extra little bit of defense that LDZ is using really working out in favor. That side sig was frames away from being able to KO, but the recovery finally does it, and Steve is really getting his bearings back here. Lost that first stock, but he lost it going for a risk, not necessarily by being outplayed. LDZ now returning with his own spear attacks. Ground pound comes out, does connect with Steve, but he manages to recover. Returning Sarah,
very nice.
Excellent job by Steve. Double D-light into side air. So much damage coming into LDZ, and LDZ using that dodge a little bit early. Steve trying to find a falling there. Sidelight, pivot down with Sarah. That's what we're looking for from Stevenator. Okay, evened up the damage, and Ada with that lower defense finds the recovery, but is in kill percent. Steve made this much closer than it looked in game number 1.
And playing on Ada, that is going to make it so much harder to survive as well, because any amount of signature high hitting force move, which admittedly Hattori doesn't have too many of. On sword, maybe, sure, but this is going to be a oh no.
Okay.
Oh, but he has LDZ below, and this could
LDZ
smart recovery.
He finds the dare on the way back. Stevenator manages to make it back, and the gravity cancel delay recovery does kill him. Because he gravity canceled, he got on the center stage. It was really scary with how the interaction happened, but now we're on a one-stock situation, and Steve has a very good chance to be able to take this to game number 3. Falling Sarah, neutralite, trying to read these dodges upwards for LDZ. Good and light, tries to pivot for those downlights. I'm loving these pivot downlights that he's doing unarmed with the spear, catching LDZ's movement to the left and right of him. He's avoiding these gun downlights very well as well, but he's still taking damage slowly. Nice neutral sig, clips him, goes for the double one.
That's going to be a lot of damage, and now a little bit more pressure off stage. There's the ground pound. Stevenator looking for the KO, and
he can't make it back. Has to get out of the recovery. Let's go. Now. Okay. Game 3 going over for Stevenator, and that's exactly what he needed, because sometimes it can be worrisome depending on the momentum of the game, but I think it's weird to say that even though Steve lost the first stock, he won momentum, because it was one of those weird situations where LDZ was knocking him around.
Finding your stride.
And then, but Steve found this amazing spear string, brought LDZ off the stage. Sure, LDZ got the edge guard, but Stevenator was in control, and he maintained control throughout that game number 2. And now we're going to game 3, where LDZ has to switch things up, because Steve looked really good there at the end of that match.
Quick retaliation from LDZ as well, but the guns are going to make it very difficult for Stevenator to get in, but having him off stage could prove very dangerous. And now coming off, getting caught with the down air, he's got to touch the wall. There it is, getting those recoveries back. Very smart on Stevenator's part, just to make his way back to stage, and there's the recovery off the top, looking for a little bit of a fall. I'm not going to find it. And now Stevenator into the pushing off into the edge guard game. But the trading between these two players has been phenomenal, being able to find an option left and right after taking hits.
Okay, dodged out of the way of that weapon toss. LDZ's really trying to get a downlight set up, and Steve's not going to hit by a single one. That Nair puts LDZ into D-light recovery kill percent, but that jumping Sarah might be enough for LDZ. Spear recovery is not the greatest, but Steve goes for that ground pound. LDZ does not dodge towards the wall, and now he's finding his own little combo here. No, avoids the recovery, and Steve punishes it unarmed. Knowing Ada's defense is that low, he put that much damage on, was able to secure himself a quick first stock. LDZ going for the haymaker, such an easy punish for Steve. The D-light recovery from LDZ not really working out, and the recovery from the spear is a little bit hard to hit if the opponent's not already in a little bit of a string themselves, but the gravity cancel down 6 spinning in the air, giving him the extended disco on that Ada down signature.
And that's perfect positioning on that as well, doing it just above the stage so that you can catch the grounded option and the jump option. Especially with that down stick that has a lot of frame advantage. It's pretty solid.
Neither player wants to initiate here. They're like doing footsies around each other, but they're not really.
It's dangerous for Steve to approach because of all the options that LDZ has on blasters.
Yeah, LDZ was able to finally find something with that downlight. Falling Sarah punishes Steve's opportunity to get in with the sidelight. Gravity cancel downlight doesn't work, but he falls and gets the pivot downlight to be able to put Steve into the red. These D-lights are putting on so much damage from Ada. D-light, he goes for the recovery, but it's a little late. Stevenator doesn't get the weapon toss. LDZ's trying to go for that side signature, and a jumping Sarah will get a nice little punish, but because Steve had no weapon, he couldn't get a string out of it. Neutralite doesn't lead into the downlight. 2 neutralites puts LDZ into the red. Weapon toss, no Sarah. The recovery does not connect.
Chase down, recovery, not going to connect. LDZ coming back to stage, looking for a follow-up here, trying to disrupt the movement from Stevenator. He's found that momentum. Almost take him off the top. The second one not going to find him, though. And there's our follow-up recovery from LDZ. Now he has spear, looking for any sort of edge guard off stage. The ground pound helicopter not going to give him any respite.
Steve and LDZ are playing like this is their last
Finally.
stock. And finally, LDZ is able to take that lead. Stevenator with anything, even an unarmed recovery, will be able to even things up, but he can't.
Throws it out too, he knows.
He shouldn't fish for it too hard because LDZ is so excellent at being able to punish people that are trying to go for the most obvious kill move. There's another recovery. LDZ stays low, knowing that he's not going to go for a ground pound. It's too slow with the weapon. Okay, he's getting wall touch. Exclamation points. Has to get back on the stage. Steve allows it. Delight Nair. That's a lot of damage already coming out from LDZ. Stevenator can't find anything onto him. It's just a silent something.
He gets on top of him and
Okay.
doesn't find the KO. That's so unfortunate, but he still was able to get on top of him. I didn't think he was actually going to make his way through the Iron Curtain. That is LDZ's blaster play, and now he's got LDZ on the ropes for the second stock, but he has to find this
Ground
kill.
pound touches the stage.
First.
Lots of landing lag there. Second time that he does the
my
ground pound.
gosh.
Steve is reaching too far for these ground pounds. He has to take a step back.
Oh,
no, the sides
not
hits.
looking good for Steve.
Steve
on the left
unarmed.
side. LDZ looking for the kill with the ground pound,
Okay.
making his way back to the other side of the stage, and there's the ground pound.
No!
Misses, and that's going to
Ground pound
cost him
hits
the
the downer,
stock.
doesn't-
There's no way he gets that back from this, and there it is. The
Okay.
ground pound finishing it off the 2-0. Steve had the possibility to take that right there,
It
but
was
he
so
lost
close.
the momentum, and it just fell so
I
flat
feel
for
like
him. You gotta feel bad for Steve.
I feel like I almost called digging the grave there when I realized, oh no, Steve lost the first stock, and the most obvious thing to do was an unarmed recovery. He did it a few times and then just couldn't find anything. LDZ took full advantage over the panic state that Steve was in. Was I need to even these stocks up? I have to even up right now. They chased each other all around the map, but LDZ in the end was able to do what we were wishing we could see with the Thatch from Silly Gobi,
Yep.
and that's not get hit on a legend with 4 defense. Excellent play coming up from LDZ.